right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're listening across this great big beautiful blue globe floating through the void of Yah's creation. These are the WTF Reports. I'm your host, Dave Von Kleist, with the facts. WTF. And if they make you exclaim WTF, well then, so be it. Oh boy, we got some fun today. This broadcast, or shall I say this program, is being streamed live all over the world on Red State Talk Radio. If you go to RedStateTalkRadio.com, you can listen live. We are programming this out there every day, Monday through Friday, at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, and I'm in the Mountain Time area, so it's 12 noon for me. Anyway, so we're doing the audio portion of this live on Red State Talk Radio. It's also now being videoed, so now we are going to be posting videos at our website, and it'll be on YouTube and Rumble, etc. So hopefully you'll be able to go to those platforms, and you'll be able to see the documentation along with not just hearing the original people saying what they're saying, but you'll be able to see the actual documents, etc. And this broadcast, or shall I say this program, is brought to you in part by the Wave Watch. Now, if you visit our website, let me go to the browser here and show you. This is our website, TheWTFReports.com. And right here is a pop-up, and you can find out about the Wave Watch. And what it is, it's a Rife machine you wear on your wrist. I'll get more to that in a little while. Anyway, right off the bat, a couple days ago, I was talking about all the disclosures that we're getting about UAPs. Of course, we still call them UFOs, but for some reason they changed it to UAPs. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it was the same reason they changed it from the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Why would they do that? You know, they change words around all the time. Remember years ago when you wanted to get a job at a big firm and you'd go to the personnel department and fill out a job application? Well, the personnel department inferred that you were a person. Now it's no longer the personnel department, it's the Department of Human Resources. So it's sort of like just takes you out of being a person to a resource. That's another little mind thing that they play with you. Anyway, that was pretty good. Yeah, a couple days ago I was talking about the disclosure. Of course, Steven Spielberg just came out with his movie Disclosure Day, and I went to see it, and there was some truth in there. Of course, a lot of it was sensationalized, and they got a lot of chase scenes and stuff like that. But there was some truth in there. So I wanted to explore a little bit. We were talking the other day about a website called Ingersoll Lockwood, and I'm going to pull that up here. Let's see, here it is. And let's take a look at this website. This is kind of important, okay? This is IngersollLockwood.com. Now, I'll get to who Ingersoll Lockwood was in a few minutes. But when you go to this website, and again, it's IngersollLockwood.com. And when you go here, it says the U.S. Space Force is hiring. Wait a second. What has Ingersoll Lockwood got to do with the United States Space Force? Let's see what this says. You click on that, and it takes you to the United States Space Force bases. Patrick Space Force Base, Buckley Space Force Base, Peterson, Schreiber, Los Angeles, and Vandenberg. All of these are United States Space Force bases. And then they got here careers, capabilities, how to join. Really? Oh, okay, let's click on that. So you can find a recruiter. And when you go here, you can fill out your name, your email address, etc., etc. So let me go back to the main page here. The bottom line here is that this website is a recruiting website for the United States military. You can join the Space Force. You can also join the Army or the Air Force, the Navy, whatever. So first question I would ask is say, wait a second, if this is a bogus website, if this is a bogus website that's giving the impression that it's from the United States government, don't you think the government would take it down? Of course they could, okay? So that basically lends me to the belief that this is a legitimate website, because this has been around for a couple of years. Now, I'm going to go through this rather briefly because this leads to a lot of questions, especially with all the quote-unquote disclosures that are coming out. They just put out the third tranche of UFO information with the government, and of course they're talking about it on the media, but it's drip, 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 drip of information. So Anyway, I'm going to scroll down here a little bit. Of course, you can watch a little video. And it's really kind of important because when you go to this website, and I've shown a lot of people this in the past, you have to be very careful. Notice when I move my cursor around, when I come to a blank area, I'll come over here, and all of a sudden it turns into a pointy finger, which means there's a link here. Let me click on this, and what does it take us? Oh, okay. There's a picture of a service member, and it's interesting. He's a problem solver. He's a community leader. He has a positive outlook, and look at what his name is. His name is Enoch. That's interesting. Yeah, all right. Well, let's just keep that in the back of our heads. We'll get to that in a couple minutes. All right. So as you go through this website, and I encourage you people, if you've got a computer, if you've got a phone, it's a little bit more difficult to navigate. So if you can get on your computer, I think you'll find this extremely interesting, okay? Anyway, so you go through and move your cursor very carefully over all the words, the spaces, the punctuations. Here's it says, Made in America. There's a link here. Click on America. What does this do? It takes us to the Wikipedia definition of DEFCON. Wow. It's an alert state. You know, you've heard of DEFCON 3, DEFCON 4. Now, why would they put that here? Well, we'll get to that also. All right, I'm going to go back. And now, so we're going to go through, and there's a whole, like I said, a whole bunch of hidden links in here. I'm not going to hit all of them. Some of them, let me see, Made in America with Pride, and then look at the period. Ooh, whoops, what happened? It just moved around on me. Okay, Made in America, we just did that, with Pride, and the period on Pride turns into a link. You click on that, and what does it take you to? Oh, look at this. It's the White House. Why are they showing us the White House? And that's it. Anyway, all right, let's get rid of that. And we go back to this. Now, I'm just going to go through this rather quickly. There's a lot here to look at, folks, a lot. It says here, we may support and match funds. Ooh, funds, the letter F. What's the letter F do? What does that take us? Oh, it's the debt clock. My. Yeah, the U.S. debt clock. And if you scroll over to the right-hand side, there's a secret window. And by the way, this changes periodically. A lot of these links change periodically. So let's click on the debt window. Let's see. The New Money Revolution, A Golden Age, 3rd edition. And you can get a free book, whatever that is. I have no idea what that is. And like I said, they change this periodically. And here's a free book, PDF download. I'll get to that later. Maybe you want to do it. All right. So, okay, let's get out of there and go back to the main page. Now it gets real interesting here. Okay. We may support and match funds. We just did that. And then all these are government links, the IQT, SBA, SBIR, DARPA, DHS, NASA, NASA, Space Force, etc. Now, when we get to etc., this is where it gets interesting. Watch this. Etc. is ETC. Okay, the ET is a link. Click on that ET. Where does it take you? Let's see, this is from the Pentagon, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the 2022 Annual Report on Identified Aerial Phenomena. Wow, okay. So they are giving you a government report on the UFOs or UAPs. Wow. Okay, let's go back. All right, again, I'm leaving this to you. Do your own research, folks. You can figure it out for yourself what it all means, because I don't know. If you got any ideas, you can tell me. All right, let's go back to the main page here. Okay, that was ET. Now, the next hidden link is at the C. What is the C? Let's take a look at the C. The C, oh, okay, this is the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. Again, we're talking about UAPs, Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena, Volume 2. And there's many different papers. If you go down here, you can click, let me see, scroll down, introduction, and they got all these different papers on UAPs. It's up to you to go ahead and search and look at this. There's quick links to the UAP imagery, records, congressional press products, and you could submit a report, etc., etc. All right. So now let's go back to the main page. All right. So we did the ET, we did the C, and then there's the period. There's a period there, right there. That's a hidden link. I'll click. We've got to be real careful. There you go. Click on the period. Where does that take us? German disc aircrafts from 1922 to 1945 and beyond. And look at all the links to documents that there are here. Declassified CIA documents suggest the Nazis successfully built UFOs. Disc aircraft of the Third Reich. All right, then there's a documents and a photo gallery. German secret technology, photo report of information found in declassified files. It goes on, and it's also in different languages, in Espanol. Okay? And let's see, there's books and treaties all about Hitler's flying saucers, the Reich of the Black Sun, the hunt for 0 point. Have you heard of 0 point energy? Yeah, this is interesting stuff. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff to research, folks, a lot of stuff to look into. And again, this is at the website, IngersollLockwood.com, which apparently is indeed a recruitment site for the United States Air Force, United States Space Force, excuse me. All right, so we'll go back to this. All right, so we had the ET, we had the C, we had the period on a case-by-case basis, the C in case. Let's see where that takes us. Click on that. And it opens Google Earth for some reason. Again, these are cookie crumbs. These are hints. They're trying to show you something. Now, what are they showing you here? That I don't know. Let me see if I can zoom in a little more. There doesn't seem to be anything there. Well, I don't know, maybe the setting got changed or something, because I was poking around on Google Earth. But there, when you go there the first time, there's a big hole in the ground in Antarctica, and it appears to have a huge dome that's sort of pushed over to the side. Anyway, okay, let me go back, and you can poke around in Antarctica. A lot of interesting stuff there. Okay, on a case-by-case basis. Let's see, case-by-case basis, and there's no hidden link there. Okay, now there are further hidden links. Let me see, all criminal. Oh, there's criminal, the word criminal. All right, click on that. Gavin Newsom's keeping it all in the family. Oh my, 4 families, 3 generations. Pelosi, Newsom, Getty, and Brown. Wow, a little flow chart of Gavin Newsom's family. I wonder why would they have that here? What are they trying to tell us, folks? And again, I'm just providing you some food for thought and some breadcrumbs and puzzle pieces for you to put together. Do your own research. All right. Okay, let's see. Where were we? Criminal hacking activities will be prosecuted. Okay, there's no hidden links there. Oh, wait, there was. The period right there, will be prosecuted. I didn't know that. And again, they change these links periodically. Let's see what that takes us to. And this would be a big surprise for me. Look at this. Sealed cases. Yeah, sealed indictments. Wow, okay, let me get rid of that. And let's see, what do we got here? There's oh my goodness. Thousands. Look at this, 121. How far does this go down? Let me go to the scroll bar here and scroll down. These are all sealed indictments. Sealed indictment. I'm just scrolling right down. I want to go to the bottom, see how many sealed indictments there are here. Let's see. Here's the last one that I can see here. Let me see. Is 9,000. What is it? 9,623. Wow. Now, why would they have sealed indictments on the United States Space Force website? This is very interesting indeed. All right, I'm going back. Again, this is for you to search. You can click on any one of those. It gives you the dates, etc., etc. Sealed indictments. Wow. Okay. Let's see. That was the period and prosecuted. That was a new one for me. Like I said, they change these links all the time. You know, they're leaving all kinds of breadcrumbs for you to go and take a look and figure out. We have not launched any NFTs or crypto tokens. Okay, there's no hidden link there. Ingersoll Lockwood is a registered trademark of Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated. Oh, and there's another link here. What's the period? Let's see. Where does that take us? Let me see. Security information. I have to verify I'm not human. Okay, yada, yada. Okay, flying the flag of the United States at full staff on Inauguration Day. All right, a proclamation from the president, and that was January 20th of 2025. Okay, I didn't even know this was here. All right, well, this is something else that I got to go look at. It never stops, folks. Okay, now let's move down here, and this is the final section. Now, let's see. Is there a hidden link here? No, I don't see it. Oh, there is. Or maybe, let's see. Oh, there is. It's hidden. As a matter of fact, if I scroll, okay, let me try that. Okay, what does this do? This is, well, Save Our Elections. I think this is for the SAVE Act. Act now. I don't know. All right, I'm learning as we go too, folks. Like I said, they keep changing these links all the time. All right, then we have Young Washington. What is this? Is this the same link? No. Oh, it's a movie in theaters now. I didn't know there was a movie called Young Washington. Did you? Oh, okay, that might be an interesting thing. Why are they promoting this movie? There might be some information in the movie that they want us to know about. All right, let me close that. Again, I'm just showing you where this stuff is. You get on your own computer. You take a look at it for yourself. All right? Now, I'm going to scroll down even more. They give you the address at 1717 Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest, Suite 1025, City of Washington, blah, blah, blah. And let's see. Oh, there's a hidden link in an open space right here. What is this? Fact sheet. President Donald J. Trump declares a national emergency at the southern border. Oh, boy. All right. That I haven't looked at yet. There's a bunch of new stuff here since I was there. Like I said, they change this sometimes, once or twice a week. All right. Let me see. There's more and more stuff here, but I'm going to skip through there. I'm sure there's a few more in here. Oh, wait a second. I knew this area is good. This year is 2026, 5786. Oh, okay. There used to be a hidden link there, but it's not there now. Okay, let's see. We've taken them down taken them down. Oh, look at the comma. We've taken them down, comma, right there. So I'm going to click on the comma. Where does that take us? Authorized for public release by Chairman Grassley. What is this? This is new. I didn't see this before. Report on matters related to intelligence activities and investigations arising out of the 2016 presidential campaign. Ooh, man, this is going to be an interesting read. And it's a long document here. I can look on the side and just scroll. Oh, my goodness, it's a long document. And yeah, there's a lot of redactions too. So again, what are they trying to tell us in this website? And I highly recommend that you dig into this website because they're trying to tell us something. Okay. Let's see. We've taken them down for now. No more hidden links there. Okay. And then there's a link to their, I guess that's their email address. All right. Now we get into the very bottom of the page. A lot of open space. And there's a UFO right here. Let's click on the UFO, the red, white, and blue American UFO. Let's see what that does. That takes us to an X post. And what is this? Huh. Let's see.
Oh, sweet land. Sweet land of the weary and the wild.
Oh, okay, it's a promo.
Oh, where are you, my sweet child?
All right, well, it's some sort of a post. I'm assuming here. All right, let's go on. I'll watch that later. Okay. Now, the other interesting thing here, folks, is that if you scroll to the very bottom, big open space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the very bottom, and I'm going to click and drag because I know there's a bunch of hidden stuff here. So click and drag. Oh, there it is. Oh, look at all that stuff. Exodus 2:1-10, Proverbs 22:6, Mark 10:16, Matthew 19:14, and Matthew 18:6. So they're all biblical scriptures. Why are they giving us scripture in the Ingersoll Lockwood website, i.e. the United States Air Force recruitment site. This is interesting stuff, and I'm going to spend a little bit more time. There's some other things that I want to get to, so I don't want to spend a whole lot more time on this Ingersoll Lockwood website, but I'm trying to explain to you why it's important for you to go to this website and check it out for yourself, because there's so much here. Okay, our faith is clear. Protect the children. Hear, hear. And I still contend, ladies and gentlemen, that the number one issue facing humanity right now, this goes beyond borders, beyond nationality, beyond your country, et cetera, et cetera. The number one issue facing humanity right now is human trafficking and child sacrifice and, dare I say, satanic worship, Luciferian beliefs. Now, you don't have to believe it. It doesn't make any difference what you believe. It doesn't make any difference what I believe. What makes a difference is what they believe. We have to make sure that we understand that. You don't have to believe, and that is your choice. So anyway, okay, so let's see. Our faith is clear. Protect the children. Let me go back to the browser here. Protect the children. The American people deserve full transparency. Yes, equal justice and lawful accountability, no matter who is involved. Justice must be pursued peacefully, constitutionally, and without fear or favoritism. And then at the very bottom here, it says, in the beginning of a change, the patriot is a scarce man, and brave, and hated, and scorned. When his cause succeeds, the timid join him, for then it costs nothing to be a patriot. And that was from Samuel Clemens, i.e. Mark Twain. Okay, there's one more hidden link here. It's just got 3 dots. What is this? Where does that take us? The Book of Atlas. I'd never heard of that. I did see this a couple days ago when I clicked on, it's a movie. It's another movie that's coming out. All right, watch the trailer. I'll have to check that out. All right. So again, I'm giving you folks breadcrumbs for you people out there to take a look at. All right. So anyway, this is the Ingersoll Lockwood website. Now I'm going to go back up to the top. I'm going to visit one more thing. You can go through how we work, insights, news, history, portfolio, but this is interesting right here, the library. You go to the library, and here we go, the reading library. The writings of Ingersoll Lockwood. Okay, now I'll explain who was Ingersoll Lockwood. He was a novelist. He lived in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and he just happened to be friends with Nikola Tesla. Yeah. And anyway, so here are the writings of Ingersoll Lockwood, and they're rather interesting. Let me see. Washington, a heroic drama of the Revolution. Strange adventures of $1 million, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to skip down here and to go to this one. This says Travels and Adventures of Little Baron Trump and his wonderful dog Bulger. Baron Trump's marvelous underground journey. 1900, or The Last President. And by the way, Baron Trump's mentor's name was Don, as in Donald Trump. Interesting. And I do remind you that one of the experiments that Nikola Tesla was working on was time travel. All right, we're going to scroll down here. Remember the first link that was that service member? His name was Enoch. It says ongoing research, reading recommendations, the U.S. Space Force, homework, Enoch. When you click on that, it takes you to the Books of Enoch. It's a PDF version. You can download it, and it's got all 3 books of the Book of Enoch. Interesting stuff. There's so much here to absorb, folks. All right, next it says safe, clean nuclear energy. Now look at the wording of this. Thorium, the green energy source from the future. Not of the future, but from the future. Thorium, energy cheaper than coal. And then they're also giving us some reading recommendations. Non-Toxic Farming Handbook, The Regenerative Grower's Guide, Victory Garden for Bees, and The Beginner's Guide to Heirloom Farming. What are they trying to tell us here? maybe we should start growing our own food. God knows the crap that they're selling us in the grocery stores has got all kinds of chemicals and fertilizers and GMO, genetically modified organisms. Anyway, so that is the IngersollLockwood.com website. I highly recommend that you go there and do some research. And I got some more stuff I'm going to share with you in just a moment. I'll be right back.
All right, let's go to Chicago. Say hi to Jerry. Jerry, thank you for holding. You're on the air.
Every month on gas. Get More
I'm
Tank.
going to start that over. I miscued.
Get More Tank will save you money every month on gas. Get More Tank is a tablet with active ingredients that adds big mileage to every tank. Made in America, the Get More Tank formula is used by trucking companies and heavy industry. Now, the Get More Tank formula is available to you. Get More Tank works in any gas or diesel engine, cleans your engine, lowers emissions, and you'll feel improved engine performance every time you step on the gas. Get More Tank works for cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, four-wheelers, mowers, and blowers. Hey, if you got an engine, then Get More Tank. Contractors, electricians, plumbers, painters, and lawn service companies, Get More Tank will save you money and extend the life of your engines. If you're an owner-operator running your big rig around the town or across the country, Get More Tank will save you money too. If you're a farmer, all of your equipment can use Get More Tank. A 5-pack on sale at GetMoreTank.com for just $22.22 plus shipping. Use the promo code REDPILL101 and get 10% off. Save your money, save your engine, save the earth at GetMoreTank.com. Get More Tank is EPA registered, doesn't void warranties, results vary.
And you can get more tank by visiting our website, TheWTFReports.com. Let's see, here we go. Here's the website, and when you hit the sponsors button, you click on Get More Tank, and it'll take you down to an area where you can read all about Get More Tank. Use the promo code REDPILL101. You'll get 10% off of the price. And as just mentioned in the little spot that I created there, when you start using it, the first time you use it, you put 2 tablets in the tank of your vehicle, fill the tank, and right off the bat, within that first tank, you'll notice you have more power. When you hit the accelerator, your car will jump when you see the light turn green. And then after you've run it for a while, you'll notice that it starts to run even more efficiently. It's going to run cleaner. It's going to run cleaner, and it's going to start saving you money. Yeah. So Get More Tank. Here's the website. This is Andy Stewart. He's the guy that's brought it to the general public. Get More Tank has been around for a long time. They've been using it in heavy industry and business for a long time, but it was not available to the general public until about 2 years ago. But anyway, so now you can get more tank. You're going to save your engine. You're going to save the earth because, like I said, your engine runs a lot cleaner, and you will enjoy anywhere between 15 and 20% increase in your mileage once you've used this for a couple of tanks, and that means money in your pocket. You spend $20 when you use the promo code. You get 5 tablets, and that means if you're getting 20% better mileage, that means your 5th tank is free. Do the math. Okay, so go to our website, TheWTFReports.com, click on the sponsors page, and get more tank. All right. I'm such a techno idiot. All this time I was talking, I was trying to show you the website for Get More Tank. I was scrolling around assuming that you were looking at it, but I didn't know that you were looking at me while I was looking at that. Anyway, so that's the website for Get More Tank. All right, that said, okay, now we're going to get into some really interesting stuff. Not that the other stuff wasn't interesting enough, but anyway, right off the bat, we've been hearing more and more about UAPs, UFOs. We've had disclosure coming out, and the government has put out a third tranche of documentation now having to do with these UFOs. And so I want to share with you some of the stuff that has come out just recently. Let me go back to the browser, and let's see, where is it? Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, not that one. Is it this one? No. Is it? Yeah, okay, well, let's go ahead and run this. This is really interesting because I'm going to let this run. This was down in Jalisco, Mexico. They just found this item.
The sheer size of this mosaic,
look at this
let
thing.
alone that it supports itself all glued together like this. it just continues to become more and more insane. I mean, this thing is absolutely ridiculous, to be honest. The jaw moves. It has tusks coming out, which is very interesting. We've seen quite a few depictions of what look to be mantis-type beings with this type of facial configuration. And considering it's in Jalisco, Mexico, it only makes me think of the Hopi legends of the ant people. And the fact we're finding this stuff here now, and the depictions of some of the things that are on it with the Booga ship.
Look at that thing.
It just never ceases to amaze me. The construction here is unlike anything I've ever seen. Found with it were multiple other pieces, like this sphere here. I haven't seen this shape of craft too many times, although we do find it inscribed into the tablets sometimes, and there was one other piece kind of similar. What I really think about this is that it goes into the detail of showing a doorway that has a hinge.
Look at that thing. It's an astronaut.
Inside goes this little, you can see the little rider here with his arms out and some sort of pack on his backpack. Even a little helmet inscribed with quite a bit of detail.
So that's
very,
the helmet.
very soft material that this is carved out of, hollowed out like that. It's really
Now watch
impressive.
this.
It just gives a lot more nature to the
Pause that. Let me go back it up just a little bit here. Okay, now
soft material.
I'm going to get to. I'll get to this in a second. Watch this.
Out like that. It's really impressive. It just gives a lot more nature.
Right there. Oh, it went too far again. Right there. That's it. Now look at that design that's on this little sphere. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. All right. Look at this. Now we'll get to this in a second because you're going to recognize this in a minute. Okay. So let's continue on with this video. This is really interesting stuff. Watch
a lot more nature to the geopolymer state that these were made in rather than something that was likely carved.
Okay, so there's an astronaut with a backpack and a helmet, and he's holding this sphere, and it's inside of this star-shaped sphere with a bunch of points on it. All right?
The intricate details are just clear evidence of sculpting more so. In some cases, the stylus is only 0.5 microns that's used to carve some of these lines.
Now look at that
landing
thing.
pad that this was found with.
Okay, now look at that. How many points on this star? There's 8 points on this star. I'll get to that in a minute. Watch this.
Has the Booga chip in the center.
Right there. He called it a Booga chip. Now let's take a close look at that. Let's look at that thing right there. What is this? Take a look at that. It's a square with a bunch of, I don't know, wires or something that are depicted right there. We'll get back to that in a minute. All right? Let's continue to watch this.
Of it, but it's also a very, very important
And there's
star
another one
in
there.
many cultures or variations of. And I think this star has to do with the story that we're starting to uncover in this case, the story of a civilization that was bound by this chip and worshipped Saturn, Anubis, that sort of thing. We see a lot of reminiscence to the owl.
The owl.
The bull.
The bull.
Even the owl is where some of these pieces are found. In this case, this was found at El Toro, which is the hill of the bull.
The owl or the bull? The owl, Moloch. The bull is Baal. Oh, it gets deep, folks.
As you can see, every last inch was carved on. After sanding, polishing, and fitting together with geopolymer glue, hundreds of little squares, the carvings are put into the surface with very, very high accuracy. There was no room for messing up on this. Some of the statue here made usually what we find to be shale. Interesting,
that.
in this
There
one
it is
is
again.
a piece of metallic substance. The mask here, you can clearly see DNA and some sort of powerful being here that looks similar to a mantis.
A mantis. An insect.
The details in this type of
And there it
hybrid
is again.
beings Definitely something we see all over Mexico.
Look at that.
I look forward to photographing and seeing these things with more detail.
There it is again.
And getting some scanning and testing results to see the age, if it's consistent with the other pieces we've tested. I'll keep you posted. Till next time.
Okay, isn't that interesting? All right. Now I'm going to connect a few dots here. And again, I'm just throwing breadcrumbs out here. This is up to you to do your own research. I keep saying that because I don't want you saying, oh, Dave said that, Dave said this, Dave's a conspiracy theorist. No, it's up to you, folks. Okay, we just saw some interesting designs on this artifact that they pulled out of Jalisco, Mexico. Well, I had the privilege of talking with Dr. Stephen Greer back in 2001 in, I think it was June. And it was right after he had his disclosure project in Washington, D.C. Well, Dr. Stephen Greer has been bringing to the world attention information about the boogosphere. Have you heard about the boogosphere? Here's some information about the boogosphere. Let's check this out.
Sphere, it is an extraterrestrial object. We've done the analysis on it. Someone opened it up. I'm not going to get into it. The new one that just landed, this has just been retrieved.
Look at that
this
design.
This is the second one that's in possession. It does not have the Proto-Sanskrit on it, but apparently it is inside. There is. And here's a video of that micro CT scan as it's going through the surface. And you're going to see it.
Okay, I want to back it up. Take a look at this design. See this right here? Didn't we just see that on that last artifact? It looks awful similar. Let's go.
Apparently it is inside. There is. And here's a video of that micro CT scan as it's going through the surface. And you're going to see it as it passes through. And it's a big void. Yeah. It is electrogravitic anti-gravity. It is not a hoax. There are now 10 different videos from 10 different spheres flying in this region in South America. It has interesting inscriptions which have been analyzed to be a type of Proto-Sanskrit.
Look, there
a
it
very
is.
unusual type of circuit pattern on the top of it. And if you look at these holes around the equator, the center, it's one seamless sphere, but inside these holes is a type of resin that has fiber optics microscopically in them. And we took some of this resin and tested it. You'll see that the resin done at the University of Georgia, the top carbon-14 dating facility, is 12,560 years old.
Wow.
So this sphere is 12,560 years old. It's the end of the last ice age when a comet or an asteroid hit. It's the flood stories of ancient times. So either a very advanced extraterrestrial civilization assisted at that time or was already here, or people working with those civilizations made this. You can see the list of elements in there. Interestingly, are a number of elements that were not even discovered until the late 1800s or early 20th century that have a high electromagnetic conducting purpose today.
Okay, I'm going to pause that because the important part is what I wanted you to see, is the fact that this boogosphere has the same or very similar design as that artifact that they just pulled out of the ground in Jalisco, Mexico. Now, we're going to get into some other stuff here because a lot of this stuff is all connected. Let me see here. Which one did I want to go to here? Let me see. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. Okay. Oh, yeah, here we go. Ancient art. All right, now let's take a look at this. Now, in some of these old paintings, this painting was for the year 1350. The crucifixion seems to feature UFOs. This painting depicts a human in a UFO looking over his shoulder at another UFO with another occupant, as if the other UFO was in pursuit, as both fly across the sky in what are clearly spaceships. Now look carefully. Here's the one in the front, and this guy is looking back at this guy. All right? Now, look at this. Here is the 8-pointed star. All right? Now, that's really interesting because They just recently, let me see if I can find it here. I got so many tabs open here. Let me see, where is it? The Pentagon reports is, okay, is it this one? Yeah, this is it. This was just released in the third tranche of videos from the government. Look at this. There's an 8-pointed star. What the heck? WTF? Yeah, this was put on News Nation. Now, normally I don't trust any of the news networks, but occasionally they do come out with information, but they put it out there because they want you to know. They want you to start seeing this, and that's why they put it out in dribs and drabs. There's the 8-pointed star. Very interesting stuff indeed. Okay, I'm going to pause that. There's a couple other things I wanted to get to. Let's see if this is it. No, that's not it. Okay, yeah. Mystery of UFOs and flying saucers in the Renaissance paintings. Here's another one. Some of you may have seen this. Right over Mother Mary's head was this object. Now, why would they? I mean, we're talking paintings that are, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old. How could they possibly even imagine UFOs? They just painted what they saw. They didn't know what the heck they were. They just painted them. But anyway, and here's another one. Here's a big house with a disc over the top. So, this has been a question that obviously has been around for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. All right. Now, there's a lot to think about here, folks. And now I don't mean to get esoteric or scriptural or evangelical or anything like that. But since October 7th of 2023, we all know what happened, with Hamas and Israel and all this stuff. And since then, there has been what's generally perceived as a genocide, ethnic cleansing, murder, rape. I have to say grape, excuse me. Yeah, I forgot we have free speech. And in Gaza. And now it's going on in Lebanon. And of course, Israel is also now bombing. They're talking about going after Turkey. They're talking about going into, the Greater Israel Project has them taking over parts of Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Lebanon, Syria, blah, blah, blah. That's God's chosen people, okay? And the reason I use that term is because our elected officials and non-elected officials have been referring to God's chosen people numerous times. And they're doing so deliberately. And they're misquoting Scripture deliberately. Okay, Mike Huckabee has been quoted more than once as saying, well, the Bible says God said, I will bless those who bless Israel, and I will curse those who curse Israel. But that's not what the Bible says. God was talking to Abraham. I will bless those who bless you. I will curse those who curse you. So they're deliberately changing the words around to suit their purpose. And don't think it's by accident. Again, Mike Huckabee, I've got him on tape not once, not twice, but 3 times, deliberately misquoting the Scripture. And of course, Ted Cruz did the same thing when he was being interviewed by Tucker Carlson. And we've heard it over and over and over again. So they're sort of forcing us to take a look at Scripture to correct them. All right? So let's go to Scripture, okay? In the Bible, in 2 Samuel and in the book of Joshua, chapter 10, verse 13, and I read, and the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? The book of Jasher? Now they're referring to the book of Jasher. This is the Old Testament, the book of Joshua. What's this book of Jasher? All right. Furthermore, in 2 Samuel, let's see, in the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 1, verse 18, it says, also, he bade them teach the children of Judah the use of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Jasher. Again, a second reference to the book of Jasher in the Old Testament. That would tell me that the book of Jasher predates the Old Testament. So I got this crazy notion in my head that maybe I should get a copy of the book of Jasher. And I read it. Whoa. And you know what? You can too. All you have to do is do a search online and you will find the book of Jasher. And it's in a PDF format. Well. Okay, let's take a look at the book of Jasher. Now, by the way, I have read the book of Jasher, and it's sort of like the book of Genesis on steroids. For every one page in the Old Testament of Genesis, there's about 10 pages in the book of Jasher. Okay, go on, kitty. My kitty won't leave me alone. Go away. All right, in the book of Jasher, check this out. In chapter 1, I'm going to scroll down here. By the way, the Bible, Old Testament, also says the same thing. And God said, let us make man in our image. That's plural. So is God a he or is God a they, them? No, I'm not playing pronouns with you. But us is plural. So that indicates that God is plural, not singular.
Oh, Dave, that's the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Okay, the Son didn't come around until the New Testament.
Well, that's because God knows the past, the present, and the future.
Well, then why does God get angry? Why did God have to destroy the world? That's another argument. But here we go. Book of Jasher. Let's scroll down here to verse 12. Okay? And the Lord drove them that day from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from which they were taken, and they went and dwelt at the east of the Garden of Eden. Check it out here. And Adam knew his wife Eve. Now, we all know what that means. And she bore 2 sons and 3 daughters. 3 daughters? Did you ever hear of that? Well, we know that the serpent beguiled Eve. What does beguiled mean? What's the definition or the interpretation of beguiled? Well, beguiled means to fool somebody or to hoodwink them or maybe to seduce them or seduce? Did the serpent seduce Eve? And what would the progeny be if Eve was seduced by a serpent? Some people say that there are reptilians among us. I'm not saying that that's the way it is. I'm just asking the questions. I'm just laying it out there. Now, furthermore, let's go down a few pages in the book of Jasher because there's something else that's very interesting here. I think it's on page 45. I had it up a little while ago. Let's see. Where was it? 18? No, is it? Let me see which one it was. I've got it marked here in the book of Jasher. Where is it here? I had it pulled up before. Of course, now I'm doing this on the fly, and I'm going to run out of time. But it talks about how they were mixing the races with the animals, the fowls of the air, the beasts of the land, the fish of the sea. And I don't know, I could pull it up here. Let me see. I thought it was page 45. Oh, no, it's page 44. That's right. Okay, yes, yeah. In chapter 4, book of Jasher, chapter 4, verse 19. And the Lord said, I will blot out man that I created from the face of the earth, yea, from man to the birds of the air, together with the cattle and the beasts that are in the field, for I repent that I made them. Now, the reason he repented he made them is because man was mixing, or shall I say genetically combining humanity with different animals. Oh, I should have put this over here. Okay. Sorry, I'm just making this up as I go along, folks. Okay. Anyway, so that's in the book of Jasher. Again, I encourage you to do your own research and check it out yourself. Let me see what else we had here. Let me see. The Book of Spear, Ancient Art, Mystery of UFOs. Yeah, we got all that stuff. Okay. All right, let's see. Yeah, we've only got a few minutes left here. So, and again, this is a new endeavor for me. For years, I've been a radio guy. You regular listeners know, and I would encourage you to go, you new folks out there, to go ahead and vet me. All right, I've been doing this for 30 years, more than that. Anyway, and I have 3 albums of politically incorrect, in your face, you lying son of a music on YouTube, and also produced several documentaries when I was with the Power Hour. 2 of them were about the 9/11 attacks. You may recall 9/11 in Plain Sight, and then the sequel was 9/11 Ripple Effect. And then there was also One Nation Under Siege and Beyond Treason, and that was the brainchild of my late ex-wife, Joyce Riley. So anyway, go ahead, check out the background. We've been doing this for a long time. And a lot of this stuff, of course, has been scrubbed from the internet. A lot of it used to be on YouTube, but you can't find it anymore. I wonder why. But if you use the Wayback Machine, you can go to gulfwarvets.com, gulfwarvets.com, or you can also go to thepowerhour.com. Again, they're not up anymore, but the Wayback has them. Yeah, so you can go back and check them out. So, I've been doing this for quite some time, and, I always believed that, if you become aware of a lie and you do nothing to expose the lie, you become part of the lie. And personally, I'm going to stand in the light and not hide in the darkness. And I know that if I don't start screaming from the rooftops, if I see the truth, I want to share it with people. Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. But the truth is hate to those who hate the truth. And I'm sure that we all know that there's a lot of hatred out there right now, and a lot of deception, shall we say. And who's the prince of deception? Yeah, we are in a very, very spiritual battle right now. It's good versus evil. And I'm sure everybody is seeing it. This is what the Great Awakening is all about. This is what the noticing is all about. Okay, this is what's the other word that they're using? The ascension, if you will. Okay, and so it's not hard. Like they say that there can be a million lies, and a lie. What is it? A lie needs another lie for support, but the truth will stand alone. And I have to be honest, folks. It was a little over 30 years ago. I was very sad. And a friend of mine just handed me a Bible, and I hadn't even looked at a Bible in years and years and years, and I opened it randomly, and it took me to Ezekiel chapter 33. And in Ezekiel chapter 33, it says that God told the people to assign a watcher on the wall. And when the watcher sees a sword come upon the land, he's supposed to blow the trumpet. And if he blows the trumpet and the people don't listen, then their blood is on their own head. However, if he sees the sword come upon the land and he does not blow the trumpet, then their blood is on his head. And I don't want anybody else's blood on my head. So when I see the truth, when I see what the best I can perceive to be the truth, it's my job, my responsibility. I am charged with the responsibility of blowing the trumpet, screaming from the rooftops, sharing it with as many people that I can. And that's what drives me. That's what inspired me to become a talk show host all those years ago. That's what inspired me to write all that music that's on YouTube. And I would ask folks to go to YouTube, just type in my name and enjoy some of the music. Politically incorrect, in your face, you lying son of a... Anyway, and also the documentaries are there. You can visit my website, DaveVonKleist.com. There are links there, lots of information there. And believe me, I'm not in it for the ego stroke. Never was. I'm not in it for the money. As a matter of fact, there are people selling my stuff on eBay. I don't know who they are. I don't care. It's about getting the message out. Anyway, I was supposed to start the music. All right, folks, it's going to wrap it up for today's installment of the WTF Reports. And if you're listening or watching on Rumble or YouTube or X or BitChute or whatever, remember to click like, share, subscribe, and above all else, word of mouth is the best advertising. And while you're doing that, please do business with our sponsors. Pick up a Wave Watch. Really good stuff. It's a Rife machine you wear on your wrist, and you can get more tank. If you don't want to do that, you can always make a contribution at our GoFundMe page. It's also on our website, the WTF Reports. We also have coffee cups and T-shirts and baseball caps. So that said, Thank you much for your listenership. God bless you all. Stay safe, stay free, and God willing, I'll see you soon.